Ron Paul is packing up his Washington condo this week, preparing to sell it and move back to Texas for good. Paul is retiring from Congress, and last week he gave a farewell address from the House floor, repeating the small government sermon he first shouted in obscurity and then injected into the national debate. With his time in D.C. coming to a close, I sat down with Paul for a kind of exit interview. You've been here on and off since 1976. What would you say the three most damaging special interests are in Washington?
Oh, you know, I see so many and they're all the same.
I know, but you must have some that really bother you.
I think the military-industrial complex is very bad.
Number one?
I think, well, I don't know whether these should be in order.
Okay, no given order.
But another one would be the banking system, how the Federal Reserve works and how it helps big banks. The interest that I would like to see that I worked on was trying to get those people who just wanted their freedom to take care of themselves. And that's the one that is the least influential. You know, up here, it's the people who want stuff and who get the benefits by just lobbying for those things that they want.
Another thing you mentioned in your farewell speech is your belief that you need to build coalitions, not necessarily reach compromise. And I wonder if you think your beliefs can be a 51% coalition in your lifetime or in what time frame?
I think, you know, if I go out to a crowd of people, no matter which crowd, I say, do you believe in free enterprise system, you know, that people should be able to work and have earnings? Yeah, I believe in that. Do you believe that your privacy should be protected, that the government shouldn't be in your bedroom and that they shouldn't be spying on you? People would agree. And most of the time, if you say, do you think we should be the policemen of the world? They say no. But when it comes to the particulars, that's, you know, they don't stick with it. They say, yes, but, you know, you go too far, you want too much freedom.
Well, this is another thing you touched on in that speech. You said this idea of liberty is popular, has been popular, so why doesn't it win? It's kind of a question you asked but didn't fully answer in that speech. Why do you think it doesn't win?
Not enough people talk about it, and I do try to explain it in the speech in that freedom, the concern about freedom was lost because freedom creates so much prosperity. People get complacent. Then they become materialistic and all they can deal with is redistribution. They find the government, you can make more money by getting a contract from government than being a genius and be productive. You know, when I first came here in 1976, I think I was under the impression that if you talk about welfare, you're talking about those people who won't work and get food stamps. But I have a completely different opinion now. That exists and it's not healthy, but that's minor compared to the food stamps the wealthy get. You know, the wealthy get the contracts and the special deals, and that's where I think the biggest trouble is.
That's a way of speaking that most Republicans don't usually engage in. Your son, the senator from Kentucky, Rand Paul, said recently that the Republican Party is in danger of becoming a dinosaur.
Yeah, but I think the whole government in the Democrat Party, the Republican Party, they're all dinosaurs.
What's the future of the Republican Party, though?
Well, the same as the Democrat Party. The principles are dinosaurs. The parties are going to linger because they're locked in by law. You're not allowed to compete. The laws are biased against us from competing. You can't. If you go third party, you can't get in debates, you can't get on ballots.
You talk about the grip of that two-party system. Did you seriously consider running as an independent for president in 2012?
No. Didn't
consider it? Because it's not practical?
Not practical, no, absolutely not practical. Because this would have been a good year to have an alternative, and you know, you can't get much of a showing either on the libertarian side or the green side.
So then how do we get out of this system? What do you see as the answer to this? Or do we just keep bumping along the way things are? You can't believe that. That would make you too sad.
No. You go to the campuses. You rally the young people. You stir up a whole generation of people. Ideas do have consequences. And that's where the good news is, because the campuses are alive and well with these views and they know the system is bankrupt. And there is this illusion that you can spend endlessly and print endlessly and there will always be credit out there. And so far, so good. But credit can end quickly, the dollar can crash quickly, and a new system will have to be developed.
One last thing. What are you proudest of?
Oh, nothing in particular other than the fact that when people say, one thing we can say about you is you are very consistent. And they say this in a very nice way.
And you've changed the discussion in this country. You must be proud of that.
Yeah, that'd be nice. Time will tell. But what I always get a charge of is when they're so nice and they say this isn't good, you're very consistent. They must say to themselves, but I'm always inconsistent, and that's wonderful. And they run the show. I never ran anything. You know, I was just bobbing along here when it came to legislation. So the people who, in a way, admit they're inconsistent get to run the legislative system.
Thank you so much for your time.
You're welcome.
I really appreciate it.
Okay.